JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Tea Time with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 24th of November. Yep, so welcome everyone. Welcome to this Tuesday's afternoon session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, some of the charts that we looked at this morning, some new ones, just to see how everything's getting along. But yeah, as always, before we do that, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos. And of course, our JFD Bank website and specifically our JFD research page, which we also update on a daily basis. So yeah, feel free to visit us here on jfdbank.com and yep, click on the research tab right there on the top. So guys, let's quickly jump into the charts. Quick update on German Dax. What's happening here? Basically, the index got closer again to this key resistance area. I talked a lot about this one, so that's the 13,300 zone, and yep, now the big question here is, can we get a nice pop above it? For now, we're on the right track, but again, we cannot really talk about the upside until we get, or should I say, we can talk about the upside, but we cannot get comfortable with the upside until we get that pop above the 13,300 level. So for now, yep, let's keep an eye on this one. If it remains here today, somewhere close but below this 13,300 zone, then yes, we could maybe consider maybe a potential pop tomorrow. However, of course, the day will show, but for now, at this point in time, we are very close near this to this upper bound of this little range here, or the upper side of the flag, if we want to call it this way. Then, yep, for now we'll take a bit of a cautiously bullish approach. Now, Nasdaq 100. So the index here, well, first of all, it remained in between these two levels, the 11,801, or should I say 11,800 zone, and the 12,047 territory. So I talked about this this index last week, and basically what I was saying, that in a way, for us to consider the next short-term directional move, we would need to see either to see a drop below the 11,800 zone right here, or to see a pop above the 12,047 territory, and then yes, higher levels could be met. But again, for now, it's stuck here. Looking at the cash index, we can where it's currently sitting at right now, then yep, we can see that it's sitting near the 11,955 territory. So basically still in this little range. So we're waiting for this index to make a better move here. The S&P 500, similar story, also stuck in between these two levels. Or should I say, yesterday it remained stuck between these two levels, the 3,550 on the downside and 3,588 on the upside. However, looking at the cash index, we can see that the price is already above this 3,588 zone, so basically kind of increasing its chances of a possible further move north. Now, the only little issue here is, and let me just put this one on the chart, this little short-term downside resistance line, which in a way right now it still is providing, even on the cash index, still is providing a bit of resistance here. So that's why let's see how this is going to end up, well, how this is going to open up, and how all this is going to play out. Because in from the short-term perspective, what we're seeing here is basically this, a symmetrical triangle here, which in a way could break out either way. However, of course, the prevailing trend here was to the upside here. But now the big question here is, can it actually pop above this upper side of the of this triangle? So, of course, like I said, let's see how this is going to play out. Now, some of you also might consider something else here, and let me just try to maybe well, probably it's not going to help me drawing this one, but just probably try to visualize it, because basically if we exclude this this tail here of this candle of the 9th of November, then we could be seeing ourselves a possible head and shoulders pattern. But again, for now, it's a bit of a tricky one here. So we, in a way, there is still a possibility for this one to pop higher, but we need to see a break of this this downside line or the upper side of the symmetrical triangle. So something for you guys to keep in mind. Excuse me. But if this price somehow reverses sharply to the downside, breaks this lower side of the triangle, and then drops below the 3,550 territory, now this is where it could become a little bit more exciting for the sellers. So keep your eyes on that one. A quick update on DXY. It did drop initially today, but yep, as you can see, the bulls kind of quickly pushed the price back up. Still, the index, although it did drift below this 92.43 territory again, still it got lifted, but it's still again back inside this, in between these two levels, the 92.24, between the 92.24 and the 92.61 levels. So for now, basically the same analysis as I did in the morning still remains valid. So let's see which way this is going to break out to, and ideally I need to see that daily candle remaining outside this little range. Now gold, beautiful move to the downside, guys, and everything's kind of working out nicely. So this idea that I talked about last week and on Monday is working out beautifully. So what I was saying, that if we get a strong move below the 1860 territory, this could open the door all the way towards this 1818 level or this 200-day EMA. Now we're just shy of a few points from hitting that this 200-day EMA. Slightly below that excuse me, slightly below that, we do have the 1795 territory as well, which also could be seen as a good potential area of support, as it did the same trick here back on the 16th and 17th of July. So for now, keep your eyes on this. So let's see how all this is going to play out. Now WTI oil looking quite positive here, and pushing higher, and most importantly, it's breaking above this 43.75 territory, which is the highest point of August. Now the big question here is, can it stay above this area? Now I'm not going to rush into anything yet, because I want to see how this daily candle is going to shape up today. Because if it's going to stay above this area, then yes, wonderful, good news for the for more buyers, and yep, WTI oil could continue moving higher. However, if it stays below this area, well, I mean, we'll just get ourselves a false breakout, and basically then the commodity could correct a bit back down again, given that we already had quite a decent steep up move here. So for now, the main game here is to watch this 43.75 territory and see where we where the daily candle will end. Now Ripple retraced this morning. Basically, we were sitting near the 0.70 level, and it then retraced back down. So yep, everything's kind of looking quite interesting here. However, depending on how day is gonna finish, well, I wouldn't say finish, but how this daily candle is gonna shape up. To be honest, I mean, given that we already had a decent steep up move here, maybe a bit of a correction here to the downside here could be possible. However, don't get me wrong, it's still a bull market here, and in a way, the probably it might take a few days until we get ourselves some sort of a a signal for a possible correction lower. So for now, guys, basically, long story short, yes, the trend is still to the upside. However, given the fact that we already had a decent up move here, maybe we could see a bit of a correction lower. However, now previously I talked about this level here lower, but now we'll probably start looking at some downside, a larger correction to the downside if we get a drop below the 0.57 territory right here. AUDUSD. So this pair, it did pop above this key resistance area. I talked about this one yesterday, the 0.7345 territory. Now we need that daily candle remaining above this area in order to aim for some higher levels. This break here, yes, that was great. However, that for now this is seen just as a false breakout. So if you want to aim for some higher levels, well, wait for that push above this 0.7345 level, and we would like to see, like I said, and also a daily candle staying above this area as well. In terms of the downside, now previously I talked about this level here, the 0.7289, but however, the more preferred level for me is this 0.7221, or sorry, 0.7222 level right here. A nice good drop below it, yep, could open the door towards lower areas, because at the same time the rate would be placed below the 21-day EMA. So keep your eyes on that one. USD CHF. So guys, here basically the pair managed to reverse to the upside. It didn't really move towards this area that I talked about, the 0.9030 territory. Of course, that's absolutely fine, don't get me wrong, but it's now very near this downside line taken from the high of the 28th of September. So if this downside line gets broken and we see the rate climbing above the 0.92 territory, then yep, that's when we will aim for some higher areas. For now, we're just observing the price action here and keeping an eye on these two levels, the 0.9090 on the downside and the 0.92 on the upside. Euro GBP, I haven't looked at this one for quite a while. As you can see here, I mean, need to remove this arrow, no longer valid. But what's valid here is that this area here, the lowest point of September, continues to provide decent support, guys. So in other words, what we're getting here is a possible descending triangle here. So for now, we're still trading below this downside line taken from the high of the 11th of September, but we're struggling to go for a lower low because the 0.8866 level continues to provide decent support. If you want to aim for some lower areas, wait for a nice good drop below this area, and ideally daily candle staying below this area could do the trick for more sellers. So and then we could consider maybe a possible move towards the lowest point of April right here, near the 0.8671 zone. But for now, this is the area that I'm keeping an eye on, and if that gets broken and we see the rate staying below this area, then yes, wonderful news for the sellers. In terms of the upside, I would need to see this one maybe popping above this little area, the 0.90 zone, and then we could consider some higher levels. This could be that a bit more comfortable area, after a break of which we could consider some upside. And finally, EURUSD. So quick update. Again, the pair did try to overcome this 1.1880 level. It did so. It did overcome it, but just temporarily, and then got pushed back lower here. However, still remains above the 21-day EMA and above this 1.1795 level. So for now, we're keeping an eye on these two levels, guys. The same analysis remains valid, so let's see which way this is gonna break out to. So, okay guys, this was a quick overview. I hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for watching and listening. If you want to join my video tomorrow morning, as always, my Traders Espresso, 6 o'clock GMT time. For now, guys, I hope you have a wonderful evening. Stay safe, and I'll see you later. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.